To the rest of the world, it was just snow, but to those of us living in Texas, it was our worst nightmare. This was something living for 18 years in Nigeria did not prepare me for, but it was something we had to deal with as a community. Now, if you have been watching the news, you're going to know that Houston has literally been without power or water for 4 days, and there's been a lot of deaths from different causes due to Winter Storm URI. Winter Storm URI just devastated a lot of people in Houston. It's bad. It was really bad. In today's video, I'm talking about 12 things Winter Storm URI taught me. In other words, 12 things I wish I knew before the winter storm. Hi, I'm Bethel and I survived Winter Storm URI. Okay, so as you guys might know or probably don't know, we didn't have power for 4 days and it was 17 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning it was hella cold and we had no power. So meaning we also had no heat. This was something we were not prepared for. Okay, I've lived in Houston for 3 years and have never seen snow. This was my first snow. Of course, I was excited and everything the first day. Till power went out and things started happening. So long story short, lots of people lost their lives because of many things, because we don't have the utilities or the equipment or things to like help with the snow. Even if it was little snow, I know other states are like it's just small snow, but to us it was just like a lot because we do not know how to deal with such stuff. So first things first, I would say one thing I wish I did have was a grill, because when the power went out, my apartment and most apartments in Houston use electric stoves. So I would say have a grill as a backup or have a gas cooker as a backup, so that even if the power goes out, you can still cook food at home. And that's not just it. Don't just have a grill and a cooker. Also have the floor for it. If you're going to use charcoal for it, make sure you always stock up on charcoal. Never run low on charcoal, because in times like that, it's going to run out in the stores. Another thing you should stock up on is firewood. If your grill uses firewood, then if it's whatever uses to fuel, make sure you stock up on it. So I don't have a grill yet, but I'm definitely going to buy one because I realized the hard way that I do need one. Number 2 is always have non-perishable food at home. So for me, this was the saving grace, because I have perishable food and non-perishable food, but I always have things like baked beans, I always have cereal, I always have milk, just things you can actually eat and feel like you're still eating food and be alive. If all I had was perishable food, or if I didn't have any food at all, I honestly do not know how I'd have survived this past few days. So always have non-perishable food so that you can have something to eat when the world's on lockdown or when there's another winter storm. This was something I did do and I found really helpful. So number 3, have an extra source of light. So when the power goes out, your phone flashlight is only going to last a few hours before your phone dies. So have an extra source of light. This could be candles, but then candles are risky because if you do not pay attention to them, it can lead to a fire. So the best option for me is battery powered LED lights. So I did a DIY video a while back where I made my own ring lights, and here's a link to the video. But then in that video I used some LED lights that are battery powered, and that was what saved me when there was no power. That was what I used to light up my house. I also used candles, but I was really careful to not put it close to anything that's flammable and to make sure it was turned off before going to bed. So always have a backup source of light, and if you're going to use candles, be safe. Number 4, even if you live in the South, like everybody in Houston or everybody in Texas, even if you live in Texas, please get a winter jacket. Like, we did not expect this. I can't imagine what life was like for those without winter jackets. I literally wore like 3 jackets and I was still freezing. I was still having frostbite somehow. So invest in a winter jacket. Even if you're never going to use it, just buy it and leave it in the closet. I'm so glad I had winter jackets at home just sitting in the closet. Ones that I haven't even worn in like 2 years. They're just there in the closet, and they're my saving grace, because when there's no power or heat or anything, your jacket is your savior. So invest in a winter jacket if you live in a hot area like Texas. Even if there's no winter or anything, invest in a winter jacket that is thick enough, not fashionable, a thick enough winter jacket that's going to save your ass when everything goes crazy. Number 5, make sure you have a power bank. Yes, we live in the United States, there's constant electricity, but that was not the case like 4 days ago. There was no electricity, so buy a power bank. They are very cheap. I think I got mine for like less than $10 at Ross. So buy a power bank, and not just buy a power bank, make sure it's charged. Okay, you can buy 2 power banks, one for your everyday life and one for emergencies, because you might forget to charge one for your everyday life. That's what happened to me. I forgot to charge one for my everyday life, so it was basically useless. I had a power bank. So get one that you know is always charged, and it should be in your go bag or whatever. Just have a power bank so that you can plug your phone and still be connected to the outside world when you cannot go out. So get a power bank. Not just that, make sure it's charged. So number 6, this was something I've been meaning to do for a long while, which is keep buckets in your house. So it's a norm where I come from in Nigeria to have buckets at home for washing clothes, fetching water and everything. But in the United States, I can count how many buckets I've seen since I moved here. I've always told myself I'm going to buy buckets, just so I can use it to mop. I have this very small bucket in my house. I have this very small bucket, and that's what I use for everything, because there's really no need to go down or fetch water or anything. But I just realized that having buckets at home would have saved me in this winter storm, because the water went out. I didn't have water for 4 days. If I had buckets, I'll just fill them up when they sent out the water warning that water was going to go out, or when there was signs of water going out. I would have filled up the buckets. Now I use pots instead, and I use little bowls. But then if I had buckets, it's going to be more water for me, and if this thing had gone longer, I'll be safer than I was with just those 3 bowls, which literally lasted me like just a few hours. So get buckets in your house, or basins, or basically just stuff you can put water in case stays. And also, as soon as you notice the water starting to like go away or anything, just fill those buckets out. It doesn't matter if you have water in your house. As far as people are saying they're losing water, just fill those buckets, just so you're going to have backup. Like, backup never hurts anybody. That's what I did when everybody was like their water is going out. I filled pots with water, and that literally saved us, because we didn't have water for the next 2 days when I moved to my roommate's place. We didn't have water after that. So make sure you fill buckets with water and keep them. Number 7 is, I know we need a source of heat when there's no power or anything, but please never turn on your car in the garage. Never turn on your grill in the house or in an enclosed area, because you can literally die from that. A lot of people died not from the cold, but because they're trying to heat themselves up and forgot there's a thing called carbon monoxide, which is like very crazy dangerous. So do not turn on your car in the garage, or turn on your grill in the house, because you could die from it. Number 8, it's actually weird I'm actually talking about this point, and it's funny how this is actually a point, but the 8th point is, be nice to people, so that when things like this happen and you don't have any option but to move out of your house, you have people to actually move out to. I can't even start to tell you how many people called me. People I didn't even expect to called me and were like, do you need a place to stay? I was shook. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a nice person. Far from it. I'm probably not a nice person. But a lot of people thought I was and called me to offer me accommodation. They bought me food and stuff. So I'll just say, be nice to people, so that when you need help, there's actually someone who's going to help you. For the 4 days when my lights were out and my water was out, I didn't stay in my house. I had to move to my ex-roommate's place, and I slept there for 4 days. If I wasn't nice to her, like, there's no way I would even have the guts to call her and tell her, okay, I need to come stay at your place. But if you're nice to people, I guess it helps you out in the end. Number 9 is, always make sure there's gas in your car. I know it's a habit sometimes when you're coming back from work and you're tired and you're like, you're going to buy gas the next morning when it's on red. But always have gas in your car. This helped me a lot, because throughout that period, I actually drove around, like, back and forth from my roommate's place to my place. My ex-roommate. I drove back and forth from my ex-roommate's place to my place. And because I had gas, I didn't have to go to a gas station, which reduced the risk of me being on the road more often than I should. So always have gas in your car. It's just common sense, to be honest. So that was number 10 actually. Number 11 is, get your neighbor's phone number. Okay, so I had my neighbor's phone number because my apartment is like big, and then it has like doubles of the same apartment number. So the main reason I actually had a number was because the delivery guys always brought her package to my door. So I had a number, so that if they bring it to my door, I always call her, okay, come pick your package up. But that actually helped me in the long run, because when I wasn't home, I kept calling her to ask, is the water back on? Is lights back on? Are you guys safe? Just always have your neighbor's number. To be honest, that helped me a lot. And I'm actually going to go collect the number of person who stays next door to me, because I don't even know what they look like. But yeah, this has taught me to actually know my neighbors and get their numbers, because it will actually be of help to me. Number 12, which is, the last point. There's actually a lot of points, but I want to keep this video short and actually in a way that is going to help people. So the last point for today or for this video is going to be, don't drive. And if you do have to drive, drive slowly. I was literally driving at like 15 miles per hour. I'm a very fast driver. I speed a lot, so driving 15 miles per hour was like torture to me. But I had to drive that slow, and still my car was like slipping off the road, and I had to get it back into control because we're driving on ice literally for about 2-3 days. We're driving on ice. So make sure you drive really slow, and don't go out if you don't have to. That's not the time to be visiting people. We're in a panoramic and we're also in a winter storm. So I'm just glad that I survived the winter storm. It was really devastating to see how many people were affected by this. Many people had their houses burnt down. Just this past couple of days was horrible for those living in Texas. It's so funny how some people in other parts of the world don't actually know what we went through living in Texas. They're like, it's just power going out. You grew up in Nigeria with literally no power the whole of your life. Yeah, it's different. In Nigeria, we're equipped to survive without power. In the United States of America, everything runs on power. The traffic lights were off because there was no power. In Nigeria, there's never power, but traffic lights are always on. Traffic lights was off, leading to more accidents because people don't know how to drive. We couldn't cook because it's powered by electricity. People who had Teslas couldn't use their Teslas because electricity. You get my point. So it's like, even if you're looking at it from other parts of the world and you're like, it was just like 1 inch of snow. This is something we do not know how to deal with here. So it was really, really hard on us, even though I feel like there should have been provisions for this, like, you know, for emergency weather update, for emergency and severe weather like this. I feel like there should be more ways that we can actually cope, but we didn't have that. And to be honest, we can't really be throwing blame on anybody. I'm just saying we survived it, those of us who survived, and that's the important part. I just hope this video helps someone. So I don't know how I'm going to title it. It's either I'm going to make it the title Things URI Taught Me, or How to Prepare for a Winter Storm, because I'm definitely going to do the few things which I didn't do before. I'm going to definitely do them because this was so unexpected. Work was, the whole state was literally on lockdown for today it was on lockdown too, so 5 days. The whole state of Texas, or at least let me speak of my own county. Harris County in Houston was on lockdown for 5 days. Like, work was cancelled, everything was cancelled. Now imagine people who had jobs that doesn't pay them for absences. Like, 1 week of, I can't lose 1 week of work. That's literally half of my rent. Like, it was tough, but we survived and learned lessons from it. So if you're living in another part of the world or still in Houston and there's a winter storm coming, just these 12 ways are going to help you. Oh, one more way as a bonus point. When you're sleeping or when a storm happens and it's like really cold because you lose power, I find it very helpful to move the bed to, like, in your house, there's definitely a room that's in the center of the house. If there's no room that's in the center of the house, just look for a room with less windows or less access to the outside walls. So in that room, let every human live. The main reason why I stayed in my roommate's place even after she lost power was because she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. I live in a 3-bedroom apartment. So her place was a lot smaller and there were like more people there. So body warmth actually made the place warmer. So look for a room in your house that's like far from the walls. Put a bed in the middle, and if possible, everybody should sleep there. It's just for a few days. At this point, all you need is warmth. So that's just a bonus tip that I found really helpful. Stay in a smaller space, because then your body warmth like makes you warm and stuff like that. So I should be posting a vlog of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th day of the whole power outage thing, because I posted the first vlog before, but I should be posting a part 2. Hopefully, if I can get to editing it, because it's, I don't know how I feel about editing a video, but I've been saying I'm going to edit for the past 2 days and I haven't gotten to it. So hopefully I do post it. But till then, please stay safe, everybody. If you're watching this video when there's a winter storm warning or you're trying to prepare for a winter storm, just don't panic. Just make sure you get things ready like that. Always have bottled water in your house. I didn't mention that, but always have bottled water in your house. Actually, there's a lot of things that I actually learned from this, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to stop it here. Anyway, I hope everybody is safe. Thanks for watching this video up to this point. you can check out my channel and subscribe if it's what you like to watch. But we survived URI. Yay. Bye.